What's up guys, Holyknight Atlas with you, bringing you Eden Zero Chapter 3 review, titled Adventurers. Before I get into the review, I need to let y'all know something. I'm going to be using Janimi's box for the reviews, since that's like the only website I know that posts it early. I don't like their translations, but that's the only site that I know that posts it early, and the two manga apps that I use posted them too late for me to do them. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way. Another thing is we find out supposedly that the Meteor Torch Guild, the original name is supposed to be something, I think, Shooting Starlight, if I'm not mistaken, or at least that's like the manga stream translation, which that's the one I like better, but they always release it too late for me to review it. So it's always on like a Tuesday evening or night they release it, and by then that's too late for me to review it. So that's why I'm using Janimi's box. Another thing we find out is LC's name is spelled differently. It's spelled ELISSIE, LC, where in Janimi's box it's spelled ELCY. So just wanted to let you know about those two differences, just in case if you're reading another translation you be like, why is he saying this? You don't know why, because I'm using Janimi's box. But now that we get that out the way, let's start off with the chapter review. I love the cover page, as you can see from the thumbnail. It's just Shiki upside down with his gravity with a big smile. I really am enjoying this manga a lot, even though we're only like 3 chapters in, but it's been very good. And in the beginning of this chapter, if Meteor Torch, we see the representative, you know, the person in the front desk. Her name is Clarissa Lei. I'm probably butchering her last name, but Lei, I believe is pronounced, but yeah, Clarissa. So we see Clarissa, and she's the representative in the front, and we see Rebecca asks her, hey, can you give Shiki registration papers? Even though he doesn't have registration papers, but can you send them for the guild? And she says, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, you don't have registration papers either. So that was nice to know that we got something new, that neither Shiki or Rebecca has registration papers. So basically they have no social security card or whatever, like we do here in the States. So they technically exist, but they don't exist. You know what I'm saying? They're not on like the radar. So that was nice to know in that dialogue, and also to see their interactions, because she started crying when she found out that they were happy and they came back safe, and also Happy and Rebecca started crying when they saw her crying, that she was crying for them. So it was like, you can tell they have a pretty good relationship. Kind of remind me of Lucy and Mary Jane from Fairytail. But that was awesome. Then, you know, we got Chicky running around trying to touch people and whatever, and she pulls him like Rebecca, and she tells him, you know, stop that, whatever, you know, and all that. And then we find best girl in the series, I'm calling it now. We find Wendy's Eden Zero counterpart that showed up in this chapter. Her name is Lavella Krista, and she's supposedly the top, one of the top B-cubers in this verse. So that was interesting seeing that. And seeing that her attitude and her way she acts is completely different from Wendy. This lady is a word that I won't want to say because, you know, it's YouTube. Trying to keep this family friendly for the kids and stuff. But you know what I was thinking. So yeah, she's just completely rude and mean. Completely. She was knocking out Rebecca, saying, you think of retiring, you know, your videos are very, very low quality and stuff like that, and she was just taking shots at her the whole time, making her cry and whatever. And she was even being mean to other people, overcharging them for video shots and sign-ins and autographs and all that. And it was just, she even drew a piece of crap on one guy's paper instead of an autograph and told him to deposit money in my bank account for it. It was like, it was horrible. Then when she was about to walk away after saying all this mean stuff to Rebecca, making her cry, we got something very interesting that I don't believe Natsu would have done at all. And that is, he grabbed her and he put her in the air upside down. And was like, you made my friend cry. And he was like really, really upset, like he was about to just go in on her. Luckily, Rebecca stopped him and he just slammed her on the floor and they go away. But that was funny. Also, before I forget, we also find out about that statue, that oversized woman from chapter 2 in the beginning. They called her mother in the beginning of this chapter, of chapter 3, Car Adventurers. They had called her mother, so it was kind of weird. And it got weirder because when Shiki saw it, you know, he was like, I think I've seen this woman before. And everybody laughed at him. Like, yeah, whatever, everyone says that, but no one has really met her. Except the first original adventurers, so. But, it was just weird that, like, they were mocking Shiki, saying, maybe you've seen your own mother and you're getting confused or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody calls her mother. Then Shiki says, oh, I think I've seen her before. So it's kind of weird, like, is this Shiki's mother? Maybe the Demon King, who was his grandfather, is his grandfather? And maybe that was his daughter and Shiki's the son of her? I feel like Hiro's taking shots at that theory, maybe. I could be wrong. I'm not the only one calling that, but that's what it seems like. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but does anyone else get Final Fantasy VII vibes when they keep calling her mother? I was just thinking of Genova the whole time, every time they kept on calling her mother. They called her mother like probably 7 times. So it was like, oh wow. Also, we have another cameo in the beginning of the chapter as well, with Drope, Jet, and Lyri, all 3 team members of Shadow Gear. They were in, I believe, I'm not sure if it was page 2 or 3, but they were right in the middle, in the bottom panel. Then we had the other 2 panels on the left and right side of that panel, of other characters from Fairy Tail, but they were like off-screen side characters, so I don't remember their names like that, but you guys go back to those pages and reread it like I did, and you see what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was super, and that was just the first half of the chapter, and that was just super interesting, seeing all that stuff, you know. And again, I couldn't help but think of Genova every time they kept on calling her mother, that goddess statue thing. So now we know. I can't call her Genova because I don't want to get copyright for calling her that, but I'm gonna keep calling her mother. But I just thought, you know, that's what she reminded me of every time people kept on calling her mother. Anyone who's seen Errant Children, Fantasy VII, the movie, you understand what I'm saying there. But yeah, that was the first half of the chapter. Second half of the chapter, they're in a restaurant eating, you know, and everything, and this is when things get very interesting. I believe Hero does read his like the fan based chats on Fairy Tail, because Shiki states in the restaurant, isn't a guild supposed to be one big family where everyone is friends? And then Rebecca replies with, I believe there was a guild like that, and another word that was similar like that, but not this guild. This guild, everyone just come here just for work or to drink. And I was like, wow, he's breaking the fourth wall with his own characters talking about Fairy Tail. So that was very interesting, seeing that, and seeing that Shiki's kind of disappointed. He was hoping that the Meteor Torch Guild would be like Fairy Tail Guild, but it wasn't really to his liking. So, and Rebecca did warn him not all humans are good. So, but yeah, they eating and everything. And the couple next to them that was also eating started saying, oh, Rebecca has a new, not Rebecca, Lavara, Krista, you know, the Wendy of this elf, that she has a new video out and whatever, and she's so cute and she's so pretty, blah blah blah. Then Rebecca responds, when she hears the couple, you know, overhearing them saying that, she responds with, her videos are interesting. And then Happy says, yeah, she does have a lot of subscription. I love the Beekeeper stuff. It's just so funny. It's just YouTube stuff, technically. Just the ultimate version of Mashima's word. But then Shiki comes out with this great idea of, I know how we can beat her in views and subscription. And they was like, okay, what is it? He was like, let's go meet Mother. And I was like, really, Shiki? Like, you know how many people look for this woman and can't find her? I mean, I believe Shiki is related to her in some type of way, so he probably has a way higher chance of finding her. Maybe 10 to 20% max chance of finding her, where everyone else got like probably like 1 through 5. So, but yeah, after that, Rebecca states that thanks to her ship, it's now strong enough, and neither do they have the people, the manpower to run a ship like that, to go up there. So she states that she wants to call the doctor that fixed Happy, which is the doctor that we seen in the original thumbnail that Hiro Mashima released on his Twitter. The one with the old dude with long white hair, looked like Rayleigh with a mechanical arm. People say that he's half Gildarts and half Makaraj. Well, supposedly she called him, but his phone was busy. So since his phone was busy and they haven't seen him in a while, they decided to let's go take a trip over there, and they all said yay, and that's where that restaurant scene end off and whatnot. And then after that, we get the last part of the chapter with Elsie Crimson. Her and her private gang comes in, and they come in showing up and Meteor Torch Gil. They just showed up and just walked in to the front desk reception, and they asked, Clarissa, do you know about Shiki? And she lies, and she was like, no, I never seen him or heard of him. But one of the guys that laughed at him earlier for saying, I met Mother, he comes out of nowhere saying, oh yeah, I know where he's at. So yeah, basically he told her. So yeah, that was a big like super no. Like, now that she's after him, it's gonna be like, yeah. But we also see that with Aether Gear, you can also create things. Cause we saw in the restaurant scene that Rebecca created a card for Shiki, and we also find out that Shiki, since he just entered the guild, he's at the lowest rank, which is rank E, which Rebecca and Happy are also in the same rank as him. So, because they've been busy playing around too much with the beekeeper stuff instead of going on missions. So that was stated in the restaurant as well, before I forget. And they also was, with her little cell phone thing, she was able to use the Aether Gear from that and create a card for Shiki and give it to him. So that was pretty cool to see as well. And I'm just loving this Aether Gear stuff and all this sci-fi stuff, because I'm a sci-fi person. I'm into like Star Wars, Firefly, especially Star Trek, which is my favorite. I'm into all those type of series. So seeing Hiro Mashima adapt that into his story is very interesting, and can't wait to see more of it. But yeah, things has been very interesting in this chapter. The 2 new characters we got. Shiki finally is able to, he's in the guild now officially in this chapter. Now we know about, Mother, the goddess in space. Even though we don't know her real name, but at least we know her alias is called Mother. I'm going to keep calling her Genova. Hashtag, that will be on my Twitter later. But, yeah, this was a very interesting chapter. It was 30 pages. And I really got nothing negative to say. Things been doing pretty good. I mean, I think the only critique I can make is all the friendship speeches. But, I mean, that's always been a big part of, like, Fairy Tail and Rave Master, so... And most anime has friendship in it, too. Maybe not as serious or surrounding the main plot like Fairy Tail. But I'm going to still give Hero a chance, because I really do enjoy Fairy Tail for what it is. It may not be the greatest shonen of all times, even though it had potential, but it is still a really good shonen. It still made rankings and money, so... And I still enjoyed it, which... That's the number one thing that manga and anime is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you enjoy it and keep reading it and watching it, so... And that aspect, Fairy Tail does very good. People can say what they want about it, but... Sales is what matters in the end of the series, because that's what the company looked at, so... But yeah, tell me your thoughts, comments, and opinions. Please like, comment, and share and subscribe. And yeah, tell me what you thought about this chapter. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And I see you on the next one. Join the Atlas.